Okay, so we've given the crown some time to dry out here, and then the nail hole filler has dried along with the second coat of the caulking here. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pad sander here and just and I'm going to sand down. Now this pad is great too because it can conform to the concaveness of the crown. So I'm just going to push my fingers in there to take care of this and that. Okay, so that's perfectly smooth there. Now I'm going to come down here and press in here and here to hit this rounded edge here. So that's that. I'm just going to continue here. There's two over there. Sand these three down here. And again, if you're installing it, it's always best to put the nails where they are here because it makes sanding so much easier than if the nails were on this lip here or on this edge here, where you'd have to get in there and then sand it, and then you would have to reform the angle. So it's just best just to put them here, there, and there. Okay, so the sanding's done now, and now I'm just going to take out my duster here, and I'm just going to dust off the crown here. Now, since I primed the crown with a gray primer, the surface isn't. This is actually kind of slippery here. But whenever you deal with like new crown, even if it's pre-primed, the factory primer is just basically like a white flat paint that you can wipe off. So when you sand, that's going to create dust, and the white flat primer, it's gonna have a surface that has a lot of friction in it. So you definitely want to dust off the crown, because if you don't, then when you go to paint, you're going to be painting on top of the dust, and the dust is just going to create. The paint is not going to glide well. So it's very important to dust off the crown after you have sanded down here. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to grab my paint here. And I have my 3-inch brush here. And this is a white primer. Since I primed it green first, I'm going to use a white primer first. To help hide the green, and but if I was just to use the white paint, I would highly recommend adding some Floetrol to it. And what that is, that's a latex paint conditioner, and what that's going to do is it's going to cut the surface friction when the brush hits the new crown, so that it'll glide better. And you definitely want to thin the paint out with a little bit of water too, especially on the first coat, because if you don't, then what's going to happen is when you start to paint, the water is just going to get sucked into the white flat primer, and it's going to start to dry, and then you're going to get sheen differences. So it's always best to either start with like a primer or just add some Floetrol to it and a little bit of water to help the paint go on better, and so that it all dries at the same time here. So what I'm going to do is just dip the primer in here.